In the early years of the 20th century, Japan was regarded as an Asian nation that had successfully modernized. However, behind that development lay deep economic, social, and political contradictions. After the First World War, although Japan belonged to the victorious camp, it failed to obtain the benefits it had expected. Its economy depended heavily on exports. It lacked natural resources, and its population was growing rapidly. All of these factors pushed Japanese society into a prolonged period of instability. The global economic crisis of 1929 dealt a severe blow to Japan. Numerous factories closed, farmers went bankrupt, and unemployment spread widely. In this context, public confidence in the civilian government declined sharply. The militarists exploited the situation, arguing that only war and territorial expansion could help Japan escape the crisis. From this point on, the path toward Japanese fascism gradually took shape. Unlike Germany or Italy, Japanese fascism did not establish a unified political party to seize power. Instead, real authority fell into the hands of military generals. Under the banner of absolute loyalty to the emperor, the military gradually manipulated the government, controlled the parliament, the press, and the entire political life of the country. The emperor was deified and venerated as a sacred figure, becoming a symbol used to legitimize all actions of the militarist regime. Japanese fascism was extreme, aggressive, and worshipped violence. The military was regarded as the supreme force of the nation. Voices opposing war or calling for peace were suppressed, arrested, or eliminated. Freedom of speech ceased to exist. Japanese society became fully militarized, from factories and schools to individual families. Education and propaganda played a key role in sustaining the fascist regime. From an early age, Japanese children were taught that sacrificing themselves for the emperor was the highest duty. War was portrayed as heroic, and death on the battlefield was considered glorious. Universal humanistic values were replaced by an ideology that glorified power and blind obedience. Guided by this ideology, Japan embarked on a path of aggression. In 1931, the Japanese military staged the Manchurian Incident as a pretext to occupy northeast China. From there, expansionist ambitions continued to grow. In 1937, the full-scale Sino-Japanese War broke out, marking a serious escalation of Japanese fascism. During its invasion of Asia, the Japanese military committed extremely brutal war crimes. Under the slogan of the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere, Japan claimed to be liberating Asian peoples from Western colonial rule. In reality, this was merely a cover for oppression, exploitation, and massacre. Millions of innocent civilians in China, Korea, Vietnam, and many other countries became victims. Massacres, rape, forced labor, and the plundering of resources occurred on a massive scale. The war not only devastated the invaded countries, but also deformed Japanese society itself. Many young people were sent to the battlefield, countless families were torn apart, yet the propaganda machine continued to conceal the truth and nurture illusions of victory. When the Second World War broke out, Japan officially allied with Germany and Italy, becoming one of the three fascist powers. The war expanded across the Asia-Pacific region. At first, Japan achieved some victories thanks to the element of surprise. However, as the war dragged on, its economic and military limitations became increasingly apparent. Resources were depleted, civilian life grew more difficult, and bombs rained down on Japanese cities. In 1945, the course of the war changed completely. The two atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki caused an unprecedented catastrophe in human history. Hundreds of thousands of people were killed, and many subsequent generations suffered severe consequences. Faced with such devastating destruction and the threat of total annihilation, Japan was forced to declare unconditional surrender. The surrender in 1945 marked the complete collapse of Japanese fascism. Japan entered a period of reconstruction marked by profound political, economic, and social reforms. The military was dismantled, militarist ideology was condemned, and peace became the nation's foremost goal. Looking back at history, Japanese fascism stands as a clear example of the disastrous consequences of extremism and the pursuit of power. It brought neither glory nor lasting prosperity, but only war, suffering, and loss for millions of people. This history is not only Japan's story, but also a warning for all humanity. War is never the right path to resolve crises. When violence is glorified and human beings are turned into tools, the price paid is always enormous. The lesson of Japanese fascism reminds us that only peace, respect for humanity, and international cooperation can create a sustainable future for the world.